Hi, I'm Lexa Walsh, and I am this week's studio visit artist for I Like Your Work. I'm based in Kingston, New York, and I work primarily in ceramic sculpture and textiles and found discarded decor and fashion accessories. Okay. So I actually have two studios in Kingston. One is this space, and the other is a shared ceramic studio at Headstone, which a lot of people in Kingston know if they do ceramics. And I'm going to just talk about my most recent body of work, because I think and the culmination of all the things that led to it, because I'm pretty excited about it. So this is a selection of a body of work called Grieve With Me, Breathe With Me, Heave With Me, or Breathe With Me, Grieve With Me, Heave With Me, or Heave With Me, Breathe With Me, Grieve With Me. And this work started actually at a residency I did in Massachusetts where I didn't have ceramics, so I was just messing around and sketching with a lot of found materials. So I had some fringe with me and some faux flora and some embroidered letters, and I was simultaneously watching the Summer Olympics, this was 2024, as well as war, all simultaneously being broadcast, and it led to this kind of just impulse of exploring our collective grief while also ideas of regalia. And that regalia came from other bodies of work. I did a project called Morning Song with about 100 plays on military decoration meets Victorian mourning jewelry. And those came from a body of work called Consolidated Mess, which were also play on military decoration and a lot of interviews with veterans. And that came from another body of work of the award form and trophies, which I started during the pandemic. So this latest body, I'll just start with this epitaph series. These are basically mausoleum covers or columbarium plates, and they have these empty nameplates, and they're made of ceramics, and then some of them have been leafed with 24 or 22 karat gold or palladium leaf, which is a really cool color, I think. And I use a lot of molds from cake, like fondant kind of molds, as well as handmade molds of collections of my fringe. And they also have these flowers that are, I don't know if you've ever been to a French graveyard, a Catholic graveyard in particular. They have these wonderful ceramic flower arrangements that are called immortelles, as in immortal. They don't ever die. So these are basically they're nameless because they kind of represent like the multiple sorrows and losses. There is a large selection of these kinds of plays on regalia, like a sort of like wonky epaulette, and a little bit off-kilter kind of metals, and using chain, and this is actually an official police mourning braid, and more kind of fringy things, like, again, that shape came from something I made out of fabric. This is just felt, and then I recreated it in clay. Another part of these are these cheer palms that are discarded, or as if they've kind of like lost their cheer. They've lost their power in a way, and they're flying all over the place. There are crests. Another part of this series are these black clouds, and these are made with ceramics and chandelier crystals. So this one in particular has sort of splattered to the ground, as if the black cloud has fallen, and maybe there's a little bit of hope. And some of them are really big and heavy. the Menopausal Action Network Angry Sweaty Women X against a lot of things flag. Some more freak flags. In an ideal world, there would be a giant parade where everybody has made a freak flag and we sing down the street. And then I've made a bunch of shields and swords. A lot of them are encrusted in flowers as if they've lost their possibility to function in war, and instead they've sort of been overgrown by nature and have like a new purpose to be beautiful and hopeful rather than destructive. What sums up these works is that they're kind of alternative emblems for belonging for the freaks among us. The muse of regalia, and then turned it on its head, and it's become a kind of anti-state, anti-war, anti-power, and also maybe a representation of our resistance. One cool tip I'd like to share is the ceramic artist Kathy Liu suggested to me once, because I was looking for hanging solutions for my work, and she's like, why not make the hangers yourself? So it's really easy. I made the hangers out of clay, and they look really cool, and they're nothing like a store-bought hanging device. So when in doubt, maybe you can make it yourself. Thanks for touring my studio with I Like Your Work. You can learn more about me at www.lexawalsh.com or on Instagram at Lexa Walsh Studios. And you can read a full interview about my practice on I Like Your Work podcast.com/studio visit artist.